thank you for stopping by today. My name is Dylan Schultz. You're watching Prehistoric Companions. I have here in my intro, this is Linguini. She is a Central American boa constrictor. I've had this beautiful animal for probably about 3.5 years now. See, that quick tongue flicking is always a real positive sign in snakes. Snakes are very good about telling you kind of what their body language is or what their intentions are, what's probably going on in their minds. Usually that quick tongue flickering is an indicator that, hey, I'm exploring, I'm curious, kind of how like dogs sniff everything. They're just engaging with their environment. That tongue is picking up particles in the air and it's sending particles to an organ on the roof of the snake's mouth called the Jacobson's organ, which then sends the information received from the particles from the tongue, and it sends that information to the brain so that it tells the snake what's in its environment. So like I said, my name's Dylan Schultz. I'm a 5th grade science teacher, a reptile keeper, and an artist. If that sort of content interests you, please consider subscribing. I'm currently halfway through my summer break, and I'll tell you, it's definitely been kind of nice just catching up on all the things that I've been needing or wanting to do, like hanging out with all of my animals. Here momentarily, I'll give you guys a quick tour of my reptile room here. But it's been nice having summer break. That's one of the awesome things about being a teacher. Like, not only is it really cool, like I love the science curriculum. The curriculum is amazing. We talk about energy transfer and ecosystems, earth and space science, matters everywhere. We talk about a lot of really cool things, and I really enjoy working with kids, and I really wanted to work with small kids, especially if it meant that I could incorporate my reptiles into the curriculum. The reptiles are a huge part of my classroom management. The kids will actually work pretty hard for me if it means they can earn some rewards and points and earn some reptile time. I hope all my students from my first 2 years of teaching are also having an amazing summer break. All those guys work so hard, and I know a lot of them are going to do some really incredible things. So far I've just been spending the first part of my summer trying to get my business going. That's entailed just doing a lot of artwork, a lot of painting, a lot of sculpture. I'm trying to create products like reptile themed artwork, reptile accessories, and I'm trying to get into like local markets like the Las Cruces Farmers Market, which I believe is still one of the top 10 in the nation, I believe. If you're ever in Las Cruces, New Mexico, southern New Mexico, definitely check out the farmers market. It's usually on Wednesdays and Saturdays. There's awesome food trucks, lots of art, live performance. Dad's a vendor there. His company is called Whimsical-Werks. You could check out his website. I'll post it in the link in the description below, so go check that out, Whimsical-Werks. So yeah, usually every Saturday I go over there and I love talking with people. Usually I'll bring a couple snakes or a couple lizards, and I especially just love talking with kids. Usually once I bring out a snake, I really draw out a crowd. Like, people just start swarming all around me, and they're just, a lot of them are fearful, but once they like kind of see like, oh man, this guy with the snake, like he's comfortable, he's just talking to a bunch of kids, like maybe it's not so scary, let's go see what this is all about. I love to be that person to facilitate the first experience. Like, I never get tired of hearing it, like, oh, this is my first time touching a snake, or kind of debunking those common myths like, oh, they're not slimy, or they're aggressive, or if they have bones or not. All other kind of weird stuff that you hear from people just don't know anything about reptiles. This here is Linguini's environment. This is where I keep my boa. Nice jungly kind of natural environment. The Sigonium in here just overran this tank. I've had this set up for probably about 2 years now and going great. This is Kona. He is my Sumatran short-tailed python, aka otherwise called blood python. He's really cool dude, loves food. This is Looney, my high white Pueblan milk snake that I got some years ago, actually from Brian Barczyk. Snake is an absolute escape artist, but now I have it in an enclosure that is total full escape proof. So this animal actually has nothing to do with milk. Species discovered, farmers would find these guys in the barns, and they thought that they were drinking their cow's milk. They were actually just there for the rodents. 10-gallon enclosures here. I currently don't have anything in these two. I keep a baby ball python in here. I got some hissing roaches and a dark spiny tail lizard down there. The lights are out, so he went to sleep. A children's python in here named Andromeda, and a Pac-Man frog in here named Yoda, who is currently buried in the substrate. This is an ARS 7010 hybrid rack, containing, each tub has different ball pythons in them, including a lot of the babies that I produced last year. This here is Vegeta. He is the first snake that I ever got. He's a banana pastel GHI het hypo royal python. From a breeder, Garrick DeMeyer up north, and he's called Royal Constrictor Design. Really beautiful animal, and unfortunately something really not good happened with this guy. About 4 months ago, I noticed there was a mass in the lower half of his body. To some vets, and it was determined that there was in fact a tumor growing on one of his kidneys and lower intestines. Took him to an emergency vet in El Paso. Unfortunately, the vet there was super awesome, very helpful, very knowledgeable. Didn't hesitate at all. As soon as he saw me in the waiting area with him, he said, "Oh no, come right back." So that same day, the vet was actually able to get Vegeta in for emergency surgery, and fortunately, they did get the whole mass removed, and even including part of his large intestine. They had to take some of that, but yeah, there's a huge tumor growing on his kidney. The vet told me that, you know, I mean, he got the whole mass, but the nature of the tumor does seem to be pretty aggressive, so he could live another year, he could live a couple of years, who knows? I just wonder if because this guy has a lot going on genetically, he's got like 4 different genetic mutations, just sometimes with ball pythons, if like certain combinations or just breeding, I don't know what happens if like the animal ends up genetically compromised and things like this start developing, because he's really not that old. I think he's only about 5 or 6, 7 years old. So I don't know, I hope he has many years ahead of him. The vet said, oh yeah, if you're gonna breed him, you know, do it. I don't think that's a very ethical thing to do though, considering that he had that cancerous tumor that I don't know if that's something that could pass on to the offspring, but I just want to avoid it anyway. So you can see like some of his scar from his surgery, which is actually healed quite nicely. I've got to take this guy back to the vet so I can get his sutures removed and just get a general checkup. I've had animals majority of my life, and I'm still learning about these guys all the time and how to improve their care, and I'm always trying to improve their living situations. Hopefully, eventually, I'll get all of my ball pythons in like their own 40-gallon enclosures or even a little larger. In my living room, I have this massive 150-gallon enclosure. Used to be a saltwater fish tank that my dad had. I'm currently just using it as an enrichment tank for my ball pythons. Got a big water bowl, places to hide. I probably should throw a lot more clutter and things in there, more things for them to climb on, but the big tank gives them a place to stretch out. About a year and a half ago, I ordered these enclosures from Custom Reptile Habitats. PVC 120-gallon enclosures. Here I keep my bearded dragons, Ash and Magma. I'll have to make another video about these tanks and how they function and what I plan to do to them. Still a work in progress. Look at that sweet girl. This girl loves food. She's a little food monster. There's Magma up there chilling on her rock. So yeah, I just think it's so important to do right by our animals. If we're going to get animals, even if it's a cat or a dog, that we continue to do research and continue to provide them with the absolute best care that we can. Soon I'll be reaching out to the local zoo, and hopefully I'll start my own Prehistoric Companions reptile show over there once or twice a month. I'll keep you guys posted on that, but nonetheless, just wanted to talk a little bit about the collection that I have here, show off the reptile room, talk a little bit about my education program, and a little bit about what I've been doing on here in my summer break. Hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Do me a huge favor, if you like my content, hit the subscribe button and the like button so it lets the YouTube algorithm know that people enjoy my content. Get easy, everyone, and we will see you in the next one.